Alright, so rather than working on cars today, George is practicing his welding. The only thing we found in the whole shop is a bench. So he's just going to weld this bench up randomly. And we're going to replace that bench with this bench. A little bit more surface area, a little bit more usable space. So that's going to go there. It's exciting stuff in it. Hey Siri, what time is it?
It's 10:28 a.m.
Why is this relevant? Because we started at 7:30 this morning. We have a car that was supposed to get dropped off last Friday, so we could come in sharp and start working on it like we usually do. We're a very time conscious shop. Like if we tell you we start on the car Monday and it's going to be finished Friday, we do everything we can to make that happen. You've heard me talk about that before. But what sucks is the car didn't come on Friday, so they said don't worry about it, it'll be here first thing on Monday, don't worry about it, car will be sitting there. It's 10:30. I'm walking around looking at a camera, vlogging. George is welding up a bench for no reason at all, apart from that he don't want to stand around and do nothing. We've slept the floor, we've wiped off the bench, we've wiped off that bench, there's a bucket, no car. So this is why we have that policy. Car must be here on Friday, so Monday we don't have to wait for anybody, we're waiting for ourselves, and we're on time. So the car is supposed to show up any minute now, and I'm like wearing out my shoes. Look.
It's 11:23 a.m.
11:23, and the guy still isn't here. No car. But the good news is the bench is fully operational. Just make sure it'll hold something off the ground. Yep. So we're trying to get ahead right now while we can. We've already made up the catch can lines. We've already got the clutch out ready to go, so we can put it together. This is the alignment tool we use, by the way. This is the aluminum one that Clutch Masters offer as a addition. You can buy that. We don't use the plastic one. He is getting the buddy club suspension. We've already took that apart and assembled it the way we do it, and set the spring rate and set the height. So it should be pretty close. And again, we're just trying to get ahead of things while we can, while the car isn't here. So it's actually getting quite a big build. So this is what's frustrating me even more, because there's a lot of extra things to do. Like the exhaust is quite time consuming, the brake, the package is time consuming, the coilover is already done. Braided clutch line is just a case of installing it and bleeding it, but again it's just an extra step that if the car was here, I feel a whole lot better about this list. And I absolutely hate being late, which means we're gonna have to do some overtime this week to make sure we stay on track. So this timeline isn't to scale, but this is typically the way I envision our supercharger kits in this kind of build. This is day 1, this is day 5. The car shows up right here. We're here at 7:30, we like to start at 8 o'clock. I like it to be done here, drive it, run it, break it in, break in the clutch, double check it, everything be happy, tune the car, check the car, clean it, make it look pretty, double check it, and deliver it. Right now, we're here. Alright, so this is V1. This is essentially the compressor wheel from a Rotrex supercharger, a C3881. This is 3D printed. It was made by a good friend of ours. I say good friend, he started as a customer, and now I consider him a friend. We hang out at Cars and Coffee, he'll come by the shop. Good car enthusiast, S2000 owner. So I'm going to call him a friend, but he made this for us, and it was just a, hey, I made this for you, there you go. And look how cool this is. Well, he made this, and he said, this is it, basically like a pen holder. And what was funny is I would spin it like this and go, it's actually surprisingly good at spinning, even though there's no bearing in there. Well, I think it comes down to like the weave, it's got like the shape in there, and it kind of breaks up the surface tension. It kind of almost glides on air. Well, I mentioned that to him, I think I mentioned it in a video. So a few days later, he came up with version 2, and he said, hey, I just improved that wheel for you, check this out. So look at that. So that is his version 2. I'm not going to show you the secrets, but he put basically bearings in this, so now it spins on bearings. And I was like, wow, this is fantastic. I'm going to show it on a video. and I wanted to kind of use this to promote what he is doing. So I said, this is fantastic, I really appreciate it, thank you so much, I really love it. Well, then he said, you know what, I based that design and I came up with version 3. Again, same kind of wheel, you spin this. I said, what's the difference on this? He said, well, this one has ceramic bearings, this one spins even longer. So I'm going to spin version 1 and version 2 together and we'll time them. You ready? This is version 1. So this is version 2 and version 3. I'm going to do a spin on both of these and get an idea of how long they go. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and use my trusty stopwatch right here, and what I'll do is I will spin number 2 first, then number 3. We'll get an idea how well they go. Ready? So quick spin, quick spin. We'll start the watch right here. So we'll go ahead and get that in frame right there. So you can see already they're starting to slow down. This one is almost coming to a stop. This one is still doing pretty well. So a minute 25. And this thing has come down to a really slow speed, but it is still moving. Check that out. I think this is going to do 2 minutes. What do you think? What do you think, guys? It's going to do 2 minutes? Look at that, over 2 minutes. Two minutes 15. That is unbelievable. Look at that. And there is no air, no wind blowing on this thing at all. Look at that, 3 minutes and 17 seconds. Check that out. Is that incredible? Or what? Hey Siri, what time is it?
It's 1:26 p.m.
Beautiful. Still waiting for this bozo with a tow truck. This is so infuriating. Sorry to lose my patience. We're like waiting to rush and do this car, and this idiot is not here. This is so frustrating. 1:26, no car. Who knows what George is doing out there? What are you doing? See, he's so bored, he's making gloves. We haven't got anything to do. I could have washed and waxed my truck. Who knows what George is doing with this 5-speed all-wheel drive manual. Oh, look at that.
Got it out of the junkyard.
That matches your skin tone perfectly.
Someone cheesed it up real nice. We'll clean that real quick.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and detail that, pressure wash it. We may as well, we ain't got anything else to do.
Yeah.
We had an S2000 booked in today, but
No,
yeah, it's not here. And it's an easy job. It's not like a full supercharger kit, suspension, exhaust, header, brakes.
that's like an
Catch
entire
can.
week worth of work probably.
Yeah, it's 5 days worth of work, and it's 3/4 of the way through the day. It's fantastic. Is this it? Ah, thank for that. Look at this. Look at this outfit.
ready to just give him part of his money back for him.
Yeah, well, we've been here since 7:30 waiting on this, so we've lost like 3/4 of a day on this car. This was supposed to be here on Friday. Yeah.
It got broken. I
Yeah.
got stuck at a loading dock before that for 3 hours. Because the guy backed his 9-car hauler down and flooded loading dock and couldn't get it out.
Dude's here.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Got a hell of a rig too. That's something to be envious of. Hey Siri, what time is it?
It's 1:54 p.m.
There we go, 6 hours behind schedule. Okay, so because we're a little bit behind, we're not going to show you all these little procedures because it takes time to pick up the camera and show you some of the boring stuff. So this, you all know what this looks like. You know what this looks like. You know this looks like, you know what this looks like. So we'll just kind of skip over those. Ready? All right, let's go. All right, so we kicked the AC on because it is hot as in here and we need to hustle. All right, so we're making some progress. We have the black box out. We have one wheel off. Actually, no, we have the bumper off. We have 4 wheels off because we're doing brakes and suspension. We've already taken the shift mechanism apart. This is one of my tricks, by the way. The tools, you put it back, put them in here, and the dirty parts, put them in here. That way we don't get grease anywhere because this has a little bit of grease on the end. And usually the foam off this usually gets a little bit sticky. Excuse me, we're on film. Gotta be a little bit more polite. People are gonna think you're rude. Listen, don't answer the phone. This car is 6 hours late. We need to get on this. Everyone on deck. Can't ship anything. Don't answer the phones. Don't take emails. This car. Just work on something. I don't care. Don't matter what you work on. Just work on something. Yeah. And you don't need that. You don't need that little thing. You need a wrench. Yes, let's go. Yes, we did find the Starbucks card. Thank you very much. It was on the dash. I know the tow truck guy didn't take it because I know he was concerned about that. So, in all seriousness, we're not going to go thrash on this and go 150 mile an hour because that's how mistakes happen. It just means that that easy cool down area at the end isn't going to happen because we're having to work right up to the end as opposed to work, take our time. You've seen the timeline, right, George? Seen the timeline?
I have seen one or two videos.
He knows what to do. So you know, as a kid, you get a whole bunch of food at a dessert. You always eat your greens first, so you look forward to the dessert. That's what I'm doing here. Fuel pump first. Alright, body club suspension is on. Fuel pump is disassembled. It's not put back in yet. This is also getting a brake package, so this is going to get pulled apart at some point. Time to press the button. Alright, you know what this means. Transmission is off. We're down to the clutch. We're going to remove that, see what it looks like behind it. Here's the transmission. One thing we're noticing, we'll pull this slide off, but you've heard us talk about replacing the entire clutch kit, including that seal. We'll take that off, but there could be a good chance that transmission seal behind there is leaking. You see where it's kind of shiny there? You see that? That's something to look for when you take all this apart. So we'll take that off and we'll take a look in there. Alright, so you've heard us talk about this before. We give you a discount if you install the header with the clutch because the transmission has to be dropped, better yet removed, to get that header in. It goes in much easier, so that's why we give you a discount to do it with the clutch. It's definitely worth it. Alright, so part of our package is we remove these rotors. We're changing them to the StopTech slotted rotors, and you've seen us talk about these before. These Phillips screws that are in here are usually a royal pain to get out. Well, we found a trick to get them out, and of course I'm not going to share it with you because it took me years and lots of tools to figure out how to do it. But when we remove these, we don't put these back on. We actually put the stainless Allen bolts back in that are countersunk like this. They're the same dimensions, they're just Allen. And then the event you're doing these rotors yourself or another shop is, it makes it easier for them. It does make it easier for us. But we also put a little bit of anti-seize in there, which you've seen that. We haven't put it on the channel in a while. Let's bring it back and give it a formal introduction. Okay, so one of the little things I do, and it's a tip I've shown over the years, there is often a layer of rust that builds up in here, and it will actually offset the rotor when you replace it, which means the rotor won't sit flat on this. And if it doesn't sit flat on here and torque correctly, you'll get that warped feeling from the brakes. And it's not necessarily the rotor is warped, it's that it's not sitting there flush. So make sure you do that. As you've seen, I've already cleaned it. It's nice and clean, it's smooth, there's no high spots in there. The rotor is going to sit perfectly flat. So when you put the new rotor on, don't slam it on and scratch it. Just take your time, line it up, and put the rotor on like this. Make sure you feel it actually sit. It doesn't want to have any rock. Now, some people I've seen will put this on and say, well, the wheel's going to hold it on. If this doesn't sit quite flush and then you torque the wheel on, same thing, you could be in a condition where the rotor is warped and the wheel is warped. The whole thing will feel like it's coming apart. It's not good. So our favorite grease right here, space grease. We haven't talked about this in a while on the channel, and we actually didn't sign a deal with these people, so we don't mention their name. We never even tried because we're not looking for that. So what you're going to do is our nice Allen bolts. See that? Ooh. Put a little bit of this on there. Now, why do we call it space grease? First off, it's silver. I grew up in the 80s. Everything that was in the 80s that was space related was silver. I don't know why. We just associate space with silver. Not to mention, it has space age technology, which means one drip of this, you could plaster it all around your house, get it in your car, get it on your sink. This technology, you put a cap full of this and a gallon of paint, you could paint an entire city. It's that good. It spreads that much, meaning it tracks everywhere. Hopefully you understand my humor. I'm really close up here, so hopefully you get that. So install these guys. Don't tighten one all the way. Am I overthinking this? Make sure it's tight. Make sure it's flat. Don't get one and torque it all the way up and then have the wheel crooked. I might be over explaining this, but again, I've seen it. I've had people work for me, which some of them only lasted a day because I'd watched them do some of this stuff. It made me cringe, and I go, this ain't gonna work. I don't know if it's me or you. I'm gonna say it's me because I'm OCD. I'm gonna say it's you because you're no good. So unfortunately, you're gonna torque these now. All right, so George had to leave already. I'm working a little bit late just so we can get a little bit ahead of things and make up some time. We've been working pretty fast. So the clutch is in, the header is in, fuel pump is in, front rotors are installed. Oh yes, somebody's going to mention, are those really hanging by the line? Are they really dangling by that? Yes. Yes, they are. So two reasons. One, they're getting replaced to braided stainless, and two, you'll be amazed the strength of those lines. So panic now. Oh my god. Oh my. So the rear suspension is also installed. So fuel pump, which is a little bit of a pain, but it's done. Rotors are on. They're all set up. I'm going to drain the fluid here soon, put the lines on, rebuild the calipers, put the pads in, put those together. Same with the back. Put the front suspension on. Then I'm going to start installing the supercharger, but it's late. I'm going home. That's the end of day one. We'll see you tomorrow. Alright, so front suspension. That's the stock on the right and the Buddy Club on the left. See how much prettier that is? Well, you probably know about the suspension. You've heard us talk about it enough. But we have our own setup for this. We have our measurements that we have already figured out. But nice thing about this is you can adjust this separate to this and lock it down. And these are actually nice pieces. They're not the type that as soon as you put any load on, they slip and you scratch all this up, but it stays really nice. Alright, so things are moving along. Reservoir is in. The intercooler is in. As you see, he has opted for the black series, which means the intercooler is black and the small portion on the supercharger is black. Everything is getting prepped right here. Things are moving over here. Suspension is on and the brakes are on. The next thing is to flush the fluid all the way through. I'm actually just finishing the back one right here. If you're guessing, we use Goodrich stainless lines. It's by far our favorite. They fit the best. Everything lines up exactly right. I'm going to show you this. This is one of those little things that nobody even sees. Nobody even knows that you're going to take it off and put it back on, but it's one of those little things that I do. I don't know why, but I always like to clean this because it does cover a big chunk of that. If you ever look through the wheel, you can see it. Let me show you what I do to it. Yeah, look at that. Looks like brand new. It's a really good quality powder coat that they put on these, or high temp paint, whatever it is. It always makes you feel good when it's clean and it goes back together. So you remember the episode where George built the bench? Look at this thing. It's got it destroyed already.
And the calls are coming in for other people that
The
need
calls
the
are coming in. This guy says, yo, how much is a new bench? I don't know. We don't sell them. Supercharger kit is coming together. This is the upgraded bearings that they offer in the kit. See those? A little bit better bearing. So the brackets are on. This is the newest saw bracket, by the way. There's our bracket. Notice a slightly different bolt there. One thing I want to show you. This is the best gasket sealer RTVHT on the planet. Alright, so this is where we are at. We are at the point where you look at it and you go, what color are we going to do the pipes? And because we started off with polished pipes, it's something about silver, it looks good. So if we did black, the problem is it's black, black, silver, black, black. It would kind of disappear. It wouldn't look as special, I don't think. You know, some customers want it really, really stealth looking and everything blacked out. But I'm thinking, now we've put these in there, we just kind of did it for a look and we're mocking up this part. I actually kind of like the way it looks, so I think we're going to go with polished. We'll just repolish this pipe. Just go take it over to my favorite polishing machine. Made that get a little bit shinier. So while we're taking a quick break from here, we just did an enjoyable trip to Starbucks.
Yes.
Let's have a cheers to Starbucks.
Cheers.
Or actually,
Cheers.
a cheers to the person that sent the gift card. Thank you very much. It is very much appreciated. I am not wearing an LHT shirt because my maid is on vacation. Maid being me, I am the maid, and I didn't get around to doing the laundry, so it didn't get done. No, unfortunately, I just never really met the right person.
Yeah,
I'm too wrapped up
earlier in the video.
I'm too wrapped up into myself and my own cars to give anybody any kind of time. I'm that single guy.
Oh yeah.
I go out partying.
Yeah.
I stay out late on a Friday night for no reason.
Watch just this clip and think that that's what it is. It'll be like fast forward. Wait a minute.
They go, wait a second, I thought that guy was married.
Skip the 512. Listen to John.
Yeah, Johnny's not married, I told you. So if there's anybody out there, preferably super rich, that doesn't want to, you know, stop me loving cars, hit me up. Right?
Yeah.
see, it is hot in here. It's been 96, 97, 98 all day. So it is hot to be dynoing. But the good thing is we know it's going to be cooler and make more power. So 405, 255. Again, the standard kits will do 370, 380, and upgrade kits usually do like 410, 420. But again, just because it is so hot today, it makes the car really work. I mean, look at that, that's crazy. All right, so the dyno is done. We're gonna go ahead and give this thing a quick clean. I don't know how much is gonna show up in camera, but it's pretty filthy. It did come on a truck in the weather, so we want it to look a little bit more presentable for when he gets it back. So a little bit of washing and waxing. It's pretty straightforward, and it goes a long way for presentation. Okay, so this car came in late. You saw that in the video. We've worked extra time and we're at double time to get caught up on this, and now we are back on track. We just got to clean the car, go over it one more time, and he added a couple of things. We've got to try and squeeze those in if we can, but again, now on, the car has to be here the week before. We can't do this last minute thing because it just puts too much pressure on us and makes us rush. Not that we rush, but it puts us down to the limit, if you know what I mean. So we'll give this dyno sheet to him. The car's going to feel fantastic. As soon as you get a cool day, that car's going to do more power. It's going to feel even better. So we haven't got pricing on these yet. These are our new VTEC solenoid covers with a nice LHT engraved on there. You see that? We don't have price on these yet because we just literally got them in. Came in this morning, which is perfect timing because this car is wrapping up. So we can put it on. You see what the VTEC solenoid looks like right now. It's kind of plain. You put this guy on there, and it's got that nice look. It matches the Black Series code in here. It's got our logo on it. It's got the silver, so it matches this. It also matches our master cylinder brace. And we're going to go ahead and put him now a nice new battery tie on there too, so everything will match. It's our like nice little Black Series dress-up kit there. All right, so this was his ride. They drove down in the Saturn Sky. This is the car they're picking up. So we got two convertibles going back to Georgia.
Yeah, what's the word about Dorian?
We don't want to talk about it. We're acting like it's not coming.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
wait, just what's the story about Dorian?
Yeah. He's coming. Maybe. Yeah, they think it's gonna be.
First time in the clutch. It's pretty good. Yeah, it's time to go back to sunny Georgia.
I'm following you to wherever we eat.
All right.
Do I have enough gas?
Yes.
Okay.
Drive safe. Thank you so much.
See y'all later.
Yes.
All right, nice meeting you.
Thanks.
Drive safe.
Thank